Hello and welcome into the ReMix. I'm Brianna Pitts. The summer heat is finally arriving, and along with it, the need to put your best foot forward at the beach or a chic restaurant in the city. But what cute styles can you try with your hair? Jordan Jaglinzer spoke with a hairstylist to get the latest trends and fixes for summer.
As we head into the summer months, everyone wants their best looks for the beach and beyond, and we are joined now by an internationally renowned hairstylist, Giles Robinson. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Jordan, I'm thrilled to be here.
I wish you could do my hair every day.
Come on, let's do it.
Okay, we're going to have you in the studio now every day from now on. So you're going to walk us through a few different looks based on different hair types and textures. I think everybody always wants to look their best, especially around here in the summer. This is when everybody leaves their house and actually starts going out again. But first, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Of course, yeah. So I started working in London when I was 16 years old, and now I work for a brand, Color Wow, and I just travel all over the world, just trying to help women get really quick, easy, fantastic results on their hair. And the products help me do that. I
have to say, I have Color Wow products myself, and they're great. I mean, they are just, from no matter what you need, from start to finish, they can hold your hair in place, no matter the humidity, which we do see a lot here in New England. So why don't we talk a little bit about our model here, her hair. Oh my gosh, it doesn't even look real.
Okay,
it's so perfect.
Well, Danny's hair looks great, but what we want to do with Danny's hair is give it some instant, va-va-voom, some instant volume, okay? And I'm going to show you a technique to do that. First thing I'm going to do is take this Raise the Root spray. This is like an instant root lifting spray. You can use it on wet or dry, but I think people want very quick fixes nowadays, so I'm going to use it on dry hair.
Okay.
And I'm going to just take the front of Danny's hair here, okay? Where it was sitting quite flat, I'm just going to mist it in a little bit at the front, a little bit at the back. And then I'm going to take this. I recommend everybody at home should get one of these brushes. It's like a hot air brush. This one is Trademark Beauty. Because I find that these are the easiest way to get instant blow-dry results in your hair at home.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, just where we put that Raise the Root, I'm just going to put this in the front of the hair. Just literally give it a few seconds and watch how much volume we will instantly get in the hair here, Jordan, okay?
I think, too, these are becoming so popular. Most of our viewers maybe even already have one of these at home. And so this is really a good look for somebody, I feel like I fall into this category, who has flat, kind of fine hair.
Exactly, and you want to get that instant volume at the front. Now watch this, just as we brush this back. She instantly gets that. Do you see that?
Yeah, I do.
At the front.
That's stunning.
Yeah, and it's not sticky or crunchy. So if you are feeling a little flat and it's falling a little flat in the front, you want to get that instant lift, that Raise the Root is great. And then I can just take a texture spray like this, and this is a great way to use texture sprays if you know them. Look, we're just going to blast this in the roots. And we call this backcombing in a can. Yeah. So look, I'm going to spray a little bit here.
I have to say, the product smells so good,
oh my goodness.
too.
Yeah, right. So watch this. Talk about instant volume in her hair. Do you see that?
Beautiful. I think that's what everybody wants, too. It's like that lift that you just can't get on your own without a little help. But so I noticed, too, I mean, you're using these products on dry hair.
Dry hair, exactly.
Okay.
And that's a great thing. They're extremely versatile. So you can use the Raise the Root on wet hair if you want to get all that volume. But that style on steroids, that's a dry hair styling product. And I just love it because it doesn't feel sticky or gluey. But anybody that wants to get that instant volume, just blast it in those roots.
And how do we make it last all day?
So if I was going to have it last all day, you want to prep it properly. Hairspray is really, really good. So again, and this is a great hairspray. This is the new Texas Hold'em. It actually will protect your hair in high humidity, which you need around here. Now look at this. So you can really look at that.
I would pay an infinite amount of money for my hair to look like this.
This is yours
every
now.
day
You're
I went on the air. Okay, does it get much better than that? No. And most of these products too, for somebody with flat hair, all humidity proof.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to show you. Should we pull in Ava?
Let's bring in Ava.
Yeah. So let's switch out Danny. Thank you. Danny's like, I'm going to hang out and keep having my hair done.
Danny, I wish your hair was like a wig that I could just take off and put on myself now.
Oh, Miss Ava. And we're going to call up Ava's before shot as well.
Okay.
Because Ava's hair before is probably going to be quite surprising. Because what we have done here is
so sleek.
It's so sleek, so smooth. It's what we call kind of very glassy hair. And if I turn her head to the side here, you can just see. Can you see how kind of glassy that is?
Yes, the lights, the way that the light is hitting it, you can really tell right now.
Exactly. And what we used on her hair, again, look at her before shot. Like,
oh
do you
my
see that?
gosh.
Isn't that
Unbelievable.
incredible? So she has very frizzy, very puffy, like unruly hair. And it's extremely difficult for her to blow dry her hair, but actually keep it in high humidity. And like you said, you're getting into your humidity season here now. So if you want to protect your style, I mean, this is world-renowned Dream Coat. You may well have heard of it.
That's what I have. That's what I think a lot of people have turned to.
Right, exactly. So if you struggle with maintaining your style, whether you're doing volume, taking puffy hair straight, this is what you need, because it actually humidity proofs your hair for up to like 3 to 4 washes. And can I just show you the coolest thing right now?
We're gonna do a little science experiment, right?
Yeah, right. Well, look, you can see how glassy her hair is, but you're like, right, we want to protect it against humidity. So look, let's drip some water. Did you see that? It's like,
it just bounces right off.
Just the water just bounces right off her hair. It literally will waterproof your hair for 3 to 4 washes.
Which is great, because if you're going to, I mean, this is a popular time of year for weddings or maybe a pool party, bachelorette.
Yeah.
What more could you want if you're hanging out or by the beach than something like that just, if you don't want to get your hair wet?
This is the #1, like hands down. You know, styling and everything, you can make your hair look good, but humidity, like steam from your shower, going to the gym, it makes that hair revert. Dream Coat is literally the only thing. That's why I recommend it to everybody. This is like life-changing.
Are we putting it in the hair damp, dry?
Damp, and you really need to drench it in, Jordan, okay? So, and this is a good tip for you if you're using it yourself. Like, I'm not just gonna lightly mist this, I'm really gonna go to town. It's a really lightweight formula. There's no like oil or anything in it. Drench it into that hair. And remember this at home as well. Drench it in, damp hair, all through, and then blow dry. You've got to get some heat and tension. So again, one of these blow brushes.
Is that what you used for her?
I used my dryer and my brush, but I could have easily used this as well. This is, if you're at home, this is what I recommend. This is how you're going to get the best results.
It just goes to show, when we saw that before picture, just how much the product really goes to work for you. It doesn't really matter whether you're just blow drying it, using a tool, maybe a straightener at home. It's really going to give you that shine and just lock in your hair.
Exactly. That is your asset to protecting your style.
And would you add anything else, like on top, once you do that, to keep it? Or
if you wanted to use a little bit of hairspray, but the great thing about that Dream Coat, that's like, always think of it like your coat. It's the last styling product you put on, and it's going to protect your hair.
Oh my gosh, she looks like perfect for those pool parties,
I mean,
summer fun.
It's glassy.
And I think this look too is so in right now. I'm noticing more and more like celebs on the red carpet and stuff going towards straight hairstyles.
And this is what they use. Like every celebrity hairstylist I've ever worked with, this is what they got in their kit, because that's how you get that true glass hair. Don't tell anyone though, Jordan.
We're going to tell all of our viewers. They're like, yes, okay, now I know, because that before and after speaks for itself.
Right,
I mean, just gorgeous. And you can see just how shiny her hair looks here.
Yeah, it's crazy good.
We, of course, can't talk about summer without updos.
Oh my God, yes.
Putting our hair up, right?
Yeah, let's get Haley in here, because I'm so excited. I had another plan for Haley, and then when she came this morning, and we met very early this morning when she came to the studio, I saw her natural texture.
Beautiful.
And Jordan, I am a big advocate for embracing your natural. And that is a huge trend as well right now. Like, if you've got a little wave, a curl, work with it. Okay. So what we did when she came, her hair was like it was slept on, it was bent out of shape a bit. So I just took the Dream Coat Curly. It's a very lightweight, like curl spray, and I just misted it through and let her natural kind of hair do its thing, which is
so no styling here.
No styling. I waved a couple of bits at the front because we're going to do an updo, but otherwise this is just her natural, and it doesn't feel sticky or crunchy. It's very lightweight.
And you can't see, I feel like, to your point, when you use a product that's meant to embrace your natural hair texture, you can see it sometimes. I mean, it stays on.
It's like a glue, right?
Yeah.
And this is so key. If you're going to embrace your natural hair texture, use something lightweight. That's very important.
And this is, you put it in dry too?
Just, you can put it in wet or dry. I used it in dry this morning. But then I want to show you, so Haley's had a great day at the pool, at the beach, but now she's like, yeah, I've got a dinner. I want to kind of quickly do something different with my hair.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you something. I'm going to use...
Oh, I'm excited.
I'm putting myself on the spot here. I'm going to use 2 pins.
I think we've all been there too, like you're just so over it at the end of the day. You just want to throw your hair up.
Just throw your hair up. So this is the easiest way you can do that. First thing I'm going to do is pop and lock. I swear by this. This is great for flyaways.
And this is what people use to get that wet hair look.
You are very well informed. It was famous.
Try.
It was on the red carpet on Kim K few years back. So, and this is our best UV protection as well.
Okay.
So if you are going to the pool, you can put this on before going to the pool, but then after. So I'm just going to rake this through just to kind of define her waves a little bit. Then what I want to do here is I'm just going to pull a few bits out of the front just to kind of keep it looking a bit natural. And then I'm going to spin her around.
I love this too, because like I can do that. If I'm like you're the pro, but I can keep some pieces in front. I can manage that.
Yeah, this is the easiest style. I want to make sure everyone at home can see. Now look, I'm just going to twist. This is how simple this is. Twist, 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 right? Starts to turn into like a little French pleat. Now I'm going to take
so cute.
one pin. Here you go. I like to put myself under pressure on TV.
So a couple of bobby pins that you've got there handy.
Yeah, these are these pins. So look, one pin.
And I notice yours are, I don't know the professional term for this, some of the bobby pins are like closed together. These are the open ones.
These are the
ends.
open pins, exactly. So look, one pin, two pin, and literally her hair is holding. I'm going to put a third one in for luck.
Oh, yes.
Because we want it to stay.
Of course, yeah.
And you can,
if it's me, I'm putting in 4 or 5.
Yeah, exactly. But like that is like tied up
it looks
now
so
into her
cute.
hair. So now when we get to the front, see, we've got the gorgeous bits in the front, but now we've got this hair we can kind of play with. So let's just kind of take it, and then we can take a few more pins here and just kind of jam them in there, just to kind of give that a little bit of like,
oh, I love this.
you know, like a little bit of finish. You get your hairspray, you can just kind of finish a few bits.
And you can do what you want with it. You could
oh my God, it's
tuck everything in more, leave more
easy.
loose.
Yeah, exactly. If your hair's longer, it can be longer. You can kind of do what you want. And then around the front, if you want to then refine a few pieces, you can just take your curling iron and just wave a few of those bits around the front.
I see too, you're leaving the clamp open. Interesting.
Yeah, I just use it like almost like a wand, Jordan.
Yep.
And that's a good tip. If you are not confident using a clamp, don't get involved with a clamp.
Okay.
Anti-clamp.
Good advice.
Get out of there.
I think everybody's been there, right, where you're trying to curl your hair and you have that line indent in it.
You get the bends in it and stuff. Yeah, so this is just like the cutest, like summer party, like updo, and it literally just happened in seconds.
I can't believe it, to be honest with you. I love it because it's great because it's still so casual, but to your point, formal if you're doing something like a little bit dressier at night. What an easy way to spruce up your look.
And I want to show you one last little thing. We can't let the viewers go without this little tip here, okay? So you've scraped your hair up, but maybe you've been tanning, but your scalp is still white.
Okay.
You know what happens?
Red.
Yeah, red, exactly.
Burnt.
Exactly, and you scrape your hair up and you see through your hair. You can take, this is the root cover up, this is the dark brown shade, and look, I can just fill in any little like gaps.
Oh my gosh.
In her hair. I'm telling you, Jordan, this is another one that every celeb stylist has in their kit, because trust me, I know who orders it.
Yeah.
And you can just fill in those little like hairlines, so literally her hair looks twice as thick in an instant.
Oh my gosh, what a great tip too to do, like, I mean, you must be able to use that at your on your scalp anywhere.
Cover grays with it. You can pop in little highlights. Yeah, it's amazing. Eyebrow.
I didn't even know that product existed until now.
You come see me in the back room. We'll hook you up with some stuff.
I am so excited. All 3 of these looks so different, but so versatile, and you can use them no matter what your summer plans are.
Exactly. We just want to make it easy for you to get great results. That's it.
Your top products for people at home who are watching, they want to grab a couple of these. Pick 3 that you think would be best to add to their closets right now.
100%. If you are first getting into Color Wow, you've got to use Dreamcoat.
Okay.
If you like volume, so this is if you want to maybe go a bit straighter, but you can blow dry with volume. If you want to go volume, try extra large Bombshell.
Okay.
And you have to use the shampoo.
Okay. Thank you.
Color Wow shampoo is the best.
Of course, everybody watching this, depending on what your hairstyle is, naturally you know the products that'll work from you after talking with you, but those are a great 3 additions that everybody could buy.
And we've got through a few here today as well.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being here today. I am so excited about all these tips and tricks to try. Tell everyone at home where they can find you on Instagram and on social media.
Oh, thank you. Yes, well, you can find me at MRGILES Robinson, Mr. Giles Robinson, and you can check out Color Wow Hair as well.
And, well, of course, we're going to follow you because now we need even more tips.
Hey, I'll be there helping.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today. We are so excited for summer, and we're going to look good for it, too. Thanks to you. Thanks so much.
Cheers.
We've got much more to come. The special honor and new flavors being offered by one of the best donut shops in Massachusetts. Plus, they haven't been seen in 50 years. The behind-the-scenes photos from the set of Jaws being showcased by Yankee Magazine. Everyone loves a good donut, and some of the best ones are quite close on the island of Martha's Vineyard. Paula Evans spoke to Backdoor Donuts about their latest honor.
Well, it is one of the hottest spots on Martha's Vineyard, and now Backdoor Donuts was just named in the top 10 donut shops in America by USA Today. Tyler Hall from Backdoor Donuts is joining us. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for having us.
What a huge designation. What did you feel about that USA Today honor?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that came to us, and we were super, super excited about it. And one of the things, you kind of always hope for, and kind of, you never really expect it. So we've really been trying to, get in all the votes. I think voting is up until June 9th, and they announced the winner on June 19th. You can vote once a day.
Okay.
So we're really trying to rack in all the votes that we can get.
All right. So we hope that all comes together. And so the summer months at the shop are packed.
Crazy.
The tradition has been you give the donuts out the back door of the shop. First of all, where did that begin, and what do you anticipate for the summer?
Yeah, so it all started back in Martha's Vineyard in 1971. Ever since then, the tradition of serving out the back door late night has stuck. So that's kind of what we incorporated for our pop-up in Fenway outside of Loretta's Last Call.
Nice.
They serve the donuts there late night, 7 to 2. And then we kind of just, take whatever we can, take all the popular flavors. Going into the busy season right now, kind of after Memorial Day, 4th of July is going to really pick up for us, but both locations specifically.
Yeah. Do you have a red, white, and blue donut, a flag donut?
Oh, yeah. We'll do all sorts of themed donuts. We'll do a sprinkle donut for Pride Month. We'll do, we have a party donut, which is really great. We can cater to events. We can do, donut walls, all that kind of fun stuff.
Let's talk about your flavors for a second, because you've got the pop-up location at Fenway and Martha's Vineyard. What would you say are the top two most popular donuts?
I would say the top two, which is the hot debate of it really being a donut, but it's our apple fritter. We have a mini and a regular that's huge. It's phenomenal, especially when it's fresh and hot.
Right.
Then I would say just our traditional party donut, just good old frosting, rainbow sprinkles. Can't beat it.
Can't beat it. And now you have a new partnership with the Original Coffee Shop. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we're partnering with the Original Donut Shop Coffee. So for them, they came to us to kind of partner with them for the National Donut Day, which is happening this Friday, June 6th.
Nice.
So we have 3 donuts that we're incorporating, which are inspired by their most popular coffee flavors.
Okay, so what are those flavors?
So we have a toasted, like a nutty caramel. So our donut flavor is going to be just your regular old-fashioned donut with a good caramel glaze, and it has chopped almonds on top.
Nice.
We have a vanilla latte espresso donut.
So that's this one here.
Yep, topped with good fresh espresso powder. Then we have a eclair, and it's going to be stuffed with coffee filling.
Nice. So you're going to help me make one here.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
We're going to make one.
How do we make this caramel almond donut?
Grab a donut.
This one? All right, I'll
go
take
for
this
it.
one over here.
You just kind of spin it in the caramel.
Okay. Oh, isn't this the kind of thing you just dreamed about doing when you were a kid?
Oh yeah, always.
That someone would
get a little
let
messy,
you.
and then you basically just dunk it in the almonds as much as you want.
Excellent. Get a little almond coating here. Nice.
And there you have it.
Oh,
I know.
It looks beautiful.
Perfect.
Amazing. And thanks so much for coming in. Good luck with this summer.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
And the partnership and Fenway.
Yeah.
Tyler Hall from Backdoor Donuts. Go to the back door and get one when you're on the vineyard. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
And speaking of Martha's Vineyard, Yankee Magazine just uncovered some behind-the-scenes photos from the filming of Jaws back in 1974. They have not been seen in more than 50 years. We spoke to the executive editor about the incredible find.
It's just a great luck of fortune here. We got a call from a longtime Yankee photographer, this guy Peter Vandermark, who had shot a lot for us in the 70s and 80s. And he had this stash of photos that he had shot early in his career. He was working for this obscure little Cape Cod weekly, and he got a tip from his editor, said, hey, there's a movie being shot on Martha's Vineyard. I'm gonna send you over to the vineyard with an editor, with a writer, and you guys just hang out for the day and shoot some shots, shoot some photos. And it was Jaws, and he got to be there at the moment when they were shooting the scene where they're trying to get, they're on the orca, they got the barrel on Jaws, the whole cast was there. Just amazing luck. And it's funny because the photos he captured, he was there to shoot them shooting the film. But the best photos now, 50 years later, are the ones that are off the set. When they're sort of hanging out, they're having lunch, the cast is together, they're reading the Hollywood Reporter. So it's this nice blend of like the movie being made, but then the crew just kind of hanging out during lunch and other breaks.
So, it's like such an iconic thing, and these photos have never been seen before? Have they ever been printed before?
They haven't been published since they were originally published in 1974. So he came back, he processed the film, he was shooting film obviously back then. They showed up in that next week's paper, and then they went into his personal archive. And he knew they were there, they just, you know, he's had a long career, and they were well kept, but they have not been published since 1974.
So, you know, over 50 years.
Yeah.
These photos have just kind of been hidden away.
Yeah.
And now they're just being enjoyed for the first time. What is it like, you know, being able to kind of get that behind the scenes look at they're so intimate photos, right? You touched upon it. You know, seeing the actors kind of like not really playing their parts and just kind of being everyday people. Like, what is it like to be able to show that to an audience?
Well, personally, it's my catnip to sort of see this stuff, right? And that film was so famously fraught. You know, it went over budget, went over schedule. The nickname on the island, on the vineyard, was Flaws. There were clashes between cast members. There's, you know, Robert Shaw, who was famously ornery and competitive, would constantly challenge Richard Dreyfuss to climb up the masthead of the Orca, and he kept offering more and more money each day till Spielberg finally shut it down. But what these pictures show is something else. I think they show a camaraderie. They show the way the cast. There were other moments that the cast had. They weren't just always clashing. It wasn't always a struggle. I think there was. These pictures kind of show the enjoyment of the film being made.
What does it mean? Obviously, Yankee has like such an amazing reputation in New England. What is it like for the magazine to be able to put out these photos, you know, to show one of the most famous movies, if not the most famous movie shot in this area? Yeah,
I mean, Jaws really launched the idea of the summer blockbuster. But previous to that, Jaws had summer releases would get, you know, a handful of theaters, and they tried something new with Jaws, and they flooded the theater market with it. For us, you know, we get a peek into a world on the vineyard that, you know, a different time. It kind of, you know, these wonderful black and white photos from the 70s. I think it solidifies kind of our reputation as sort of being really connected to New England and being the real storytellers of New England.
I mean, yeah. What do you want your viewers, your readers, to get out of these photos?
I guess I want our readers to appreciate the work that went into making this film. It's sort of the idea that the vineyard was home to this incredible landmark film. I mean, it's arguably the most rewatchable film in film history, right? I mean, you could turn it on and you're sucked right in. And this happened right in our backyard. It's right there. And these photos just sort of document that and cement that sort of the Jaws legacy and the importance New England has had in sort of in its connection to Jaws.
Obviously, massively iconic film. It's turning 50 this year.
Yeah.
There's going to be a celebration on the vineyard. Like, how do you wrap around what was it like to be able to print these photos and give an audience this amazing kind of like behind the scenes look?
It meant a lot to me. You know, it's funny, we get a lot of calls, you know, cold calls from people who have a story idea, right, that they think would be great for Yankee. And this one was, I got the email and I sort of had to read it a couple of times to make sure I was reading it correctly. And Peter is a wonderful person. He's a wonderful photographer. I love the idea that we get to celebrate his legacy and the career he's had. He's shot a lot of important stories for us over the years. And I'd like to think that Peter's, his own celebrity is going to rise as a result of this, along with Yankees.
Coming up on the Remix, it's a hallmark of the summer and fall. A farmer's market, the new venue that just opened in Cambridge, offers veggies, herbs, and a few cocktails as well. Well, one of the best parts of summer, farmers markets in the city, and a new space just opened up in Cambridge that is welcoming all kinds of vendors. So we welcome with us today Chef Will Gilson, who owns and operates the Cambridge Street Hospitality Group and now the First Street Market. Welcome back, Chef.
Thank you for having me back.
Love the display. It's so summery and beautiful. Get you right in the mood. Tell us about your market and what it has to offer.
Yeah, so First Street Market was our goal of trying to work with the city of Cambridge and some developers in Cambridge to create a year-round year-round indoor farmers markets. You know, they're the Boston Public Market in Boston
Yep.
is amazing. Cambridge didn't really have its own kind of slice like that. So 5.5 years ago, I joined this as a consultant, and then here we are today. The market is alive, and we are excited to bring it to you.
So exciting. Where is it physically? What's the location so people know?
So
in
it's right on
Cambridge?
First Street Market in East Cambridge, right across from the Cambridge Side Galleria. So it's
Okay.
actually in the ground floor of the First Street parking garage. So there is ample parking right above, very easy to get to. And I'll tell you what, I don't know about you, but I don't know how many farmers markets there are that have bars. And we have a bar in our farmers market, so it just makes shopping, you know, that much more fun.
You have instantly elevated the farmers market experience. And who doesn't like shopping with a cocktail? So tell us more about what the market has to offer. I know you brought some kind of samples of things that you can find there.
So springtime in Massachusetts, obviously not as much produce growing here yet as we'd like, but we do have a few things. All of the herbs and this tomato plant right here are from our farm, actually out in Groton, Massachusetts. So this is all stuff that's happening in the greenhouse. We also have from some local vendors, we have some spring onions, some radishes. But I'm telling you, this market isn't just about produce. I mean, we've got some amazing folks there that are selling cheese bread that they're making themselves, like the Portuguese style, Brazilian style.
Oh, yeah.
We also have somebody doing like CBD salves and rubs and bath bombs, jams, jellies, even a woodworker who's making wood cutting boards, and a guy who's bringing his raclette set up to be able to melt raclette cheese on top of bread.
Wow.
And let me tell you, it is a strong smell, but it is a very tasty dish.
So it's not just like to go there and shop. It's like an experience. You go, you eat, you drink while you're there. So it's more than just shopping.
Yeah, and our restaurant, Amba, which is right next door, it's our rotisserie and Mediterranean restaurant. We've got a few dips that we sell there as well. We've got our baba ganoush, our hummus, our muhammara, our pita bread. We've got a little bit right here for you to sample.
So tell me what is each one.
This is the baba ganoush. So that is basically whole eggplants that we put on the grill, char the outside, then whip that with some olive oil, some lemon, some herbs.
Oh my gosh.
That is our citrusy hummus right there that we serve in Amba as well. But we wanted to create a space where you could come, you could walk around, you could grab a sandwich, you could grab food from vendors, you could grab a cocktail, and you can leave with a way to replenish your garden or have all the food for your next meal.
What do you like best about a farmer's market?
I think the thing about a farmer's market is it's the vibe, right? You know, like you're at a place where everybody's there because they want to support, local farmers and local, producers. They also want to get together with, bringing their kids someplace so they can run around and have fun. And like I said, being able to do that while you say like, hey, why don't we also walk around with this awesome spritz that is featuring some produce from the market? Like, is a pretty amazing thing that you get to do. So I just think that the energy of a farmer's market is something that you can't really duplicate anywhere.
It's true, and it's so like peak New England. I think especially in the summertime. Great though that it's in the parking garage because then everyone gets to experience it year round, you were saying.
I tell you, the things that we have that other farmers markets this time of year don't have, it's never going to rain.
Right.
It's never going to be too hot.
Right.
It's never going to be too cold, and the bathrooms are pretty damn clean.
All right, you can walk around the farmer's market with your spritz. If I had a spritz at this farmer's market, I'd be walking out of there with this thing. All right, Chef Will Gilson, thank you so much for coming in, and go check out First Street Market in Cambridge. Thank you.
Thanks for having me back.
Much more to come on The Remix. It's a new Boston-based podcast about what women go through as they age. The pair behind the Everything Hurts podcast and why they say it's so important for their peers to hear they aren't alone. Well, growing old is just part of life, and that is something that two local women are celebrating as part of their new podcast, Everything Hurts. Danielle Murr and Cheryl Fenton launched the podcast to tackle what some view as taboo midlife struggles. They bring humor to topics like perimenopause, adult friendships, libido, and more. And they tell us the conversations they are hoping to help those experiencing similar milestones.
I think that being our age has always been a very almost taboo thing. Women getting older are just supposed to be quiet about it, and we are dismissed constantly by doctors. Oh, you're just getting older, weight gain, oh, you're just getting older.
It's normal.
It's normal, you just gotta deal with it, oh well. And I think if there's anybody you're gonna tell to shut up, it probably should not be Gen X women. I don't know, I'm throwing that out there.
Very true.
Even elder millennials who are staring down the barrel of this stage of life, perimenopause and whatnot. I think that it's like not only empowering, but it's also just creating a community because, like I said, the sense of humor is what gets us through half of the things that we're trying to get through right now.
And for us, humor is a really important element about it, because if we can't laugh about these things, what else can we do? Sometimes you feel like you're drowning with all of the changes that are happening in life and around you and to your body. So why not make it funny? We'll introduce a little dark humor about it. I think that's one of the things about the podcast that's most appealing, is people know that you can be candid and kind of be a little dark, but be funny, and we're all in it together.
You can catch Everything Hurts every Tuesday wherever you listen to your podcasts. Cape Cod has more Instagram-worthy spots than we can count. And now an unusual new attraction is driving visitors to snap a picture and post it on social media. WBZ's Mike Sullivan takes us to, of all places, a Staples parking lot.
It happens here, Orleans, located just past the elbow of Cape Cod. It's named for the French Duke of Orleans for his support of the colonies during the American Revolution, and the town's famous Nauset Beach draws more than 1 million visitors every year. Its latest blockbuster, however, is bigger than Tom Cruise. Only it doesn't come with a breathtaking view. It's actually in a Staples parking lot. It recently showed up here quickly, going viral. Its origin, an impossible mission until now.
I mean, it felt like it was under the cover of nightfall. All of a sudden, there was this huge rock in the parking lot.
It burst on the scene in a town Facebook group. Nearby business owner Kelly Longo posted this photo with it. She says local bars already have specialty drinks named after it. This rock has put Orleans on the map, and I don't mean figuratively. I mean, it's literally got a marker on Google Maps. The reviews on Google read, "I get misty every time I visit. Came for the printer ink, stayed for the monolithic geographic specimen in the parking lot."
How more famous can you get than that?
Anne-Marie Leone came to the rock with her dogs. The pair of pups are Instagram famous.
Gus and Skippy too. So we call it Gus and Us.
A few photos with the rock should boost their followers.
And I think we should bring an archaeologist here to find out the true history of the Staples Rock.
Funny you should say that.
I'm Katie Castagno. I am a PhD in geology. I'm a geologist.
She just showed up here. We didn't invite her here for this story.
This rock was deposited by glaciers about 15,000 to 20,000 years ago.
When that ice sheet melts, she says it drops rocks like this.
So the actual source of the rock is a little bit harder to tell. It'll really depend on where the glaciers picked up the rock.
But how did it get here on this parking lot island? What's its identity?
He looks like a Bob to me. You look like a Steve. I have no idea what your name is. But this looks like a Bob.
Do you think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson knows about this?
Oh, if he doesn't, he should. That would have been a better name than Bob, sorry.
Apologies aside, there is an answer. The property manager says it was unearthed during sewer work in the parking lot. She says last year an elderly driver smashed through a wall and into the Staples. She says everyone was okay. As a joke, they said let's leave the rock here so no one else will drive into the building.
I used to work at the DPW, so I kind of had a feeling we always find cool stuff when we dig up the ground.
Ann Bassett came here with her daughter.
This is Eleanor.
When she is big and strong, she's going to climb the rock and all of its glory.
Better than the Plymouth Rock, for sure.
Consider this mission accomplished.
That was easy.
In Orleans, I'm Mike Sullivan, WBZ News.
More to come on the remix. It could be the hot ticket item come Christmas, but many can't wait. The Nintendo Switch 2 now out on store shelves. A tech expert gives his opinion on what's new and if you should pick one up. Well, it is one of the biggest video game console releases in recent memory. The Nintendo Switch 2 came out earlier this week, and we caught up with CNET's Scott Stein to talk about what's new in this version and if fans should run out and buy it.
I'm joined now by Scott Stein, the editor of consumer publication CNET. And Scott, this is an incredibly exciting time for people in the tech world. The new Nintendo Switch 2 will be launching, and you are one of the lucky few people who has had the opportunity to get your hands on it a little bit early. So why don't you start with that? Talk about, as one of those lucky few, what has your experience been like ahead of everybody else?
Yeah, so the Switch has been out for 8 years now, and it's been an incredibly successful game console. At the same time, it feels like it's running games a little more sluggishly than some newer things like Steam Deck, and it doesn't play games quite as well as like PS5 and Xbox, of course. But the Switch 2 feels like a much needed update. It feels like it's playing games that feel more smooth. The graphics look better. The controllers feel better. It has built-in chat, and the camera connectivity is actually really fun, more than I thought. It can actually split the camera feed from different people and combine it into the game, to look at um, things in the same room and incorporate them, which I haven't really seen done in other game consoles. So it all adds up to something that's a lot of fun, but there are so few new games right now. And right now, I've just been playing Mario Kart World, waiting some more games to play that should be hitting tonight. That, it really feels like you can wait on it. And I think that if you're really excited to get it, it's not a bad thing to get it all right now. I think it'll be a lot of fun. But I think it's definitely something that it's going to take probably a year for Nintendo to really build up a really unique library to make this feel like a true must-get thing.
Absolutely. And I think that obviously the question, you've been following this in the lead up since they announced that the Switch 2 would come out. You've talked about the technological differences between the first Switch and this new one, the different capabilities. Talk more about that. And since you've had a chance to actually experience it, what are they? What are the differences?
Yeah, one of the things inside is a new NVIDIA chip, and NVIDIA's CEO Jensen, he just made a video about talking about the new features on this chip and what make it unique. I think it's something that maybe over time we're going to start seeing more of those features come out. One thing clearly is that it's better at upscaling. It's better at bringing things up to 4K resolution. It's better at making graphics look crisper and smoother and better. But also, I think the stuff it's doing with the camera is interesting. And I think that's happening on the chip, where it's pulling out different video feeds and combining them. And while that's not stuff that you may necessarily want to do now, it shows maybe that the chip could do more interesting stuff in games later. I also think it's interesting that game chat is so embedded inside the Switch 2. It really is just audio and video chat, and you could just start it instantly and people can be talking. But because it's now built in and organic, I think there's a lot of different ways you could go with that in games. I think it'll be fun to have games where you're kind of in a game show participating and chatting. And, I think it could change a lot of ideas in games that haven't been thought of yet. And right now it's kind of like a hangout. I only got to demo it briefly, and I'm waiting for more people to have game chat. So, I think those are the big things that stand out technologically. And the thing is, a lot of people don't need better graphics. A lot of people don't need slightly nicer looking graphics. I think we're gonna have to see a little more of what it can do that'll truly be unique here. But I think it's well set up to last like a handful of years, including game streaming. I bet this could do, there's more game streaming where you don't have to download it. That's becoming a trend in tech. And I think this system will probably be able to do that a lot better.
And there's people lining up outside of tech stores across the country waiting to get their hands, to be the first people to get their hands on this new console. You've kind of said that it's okay to wait. There's no rush. You don't need to be waiting in these lines. You can get it when you get it. It's not too dissimilar from the old one. Is there any reason why people should be clamoring to get their hands on it?
That people shouldn't be clamoring?
Should be clamoring.
Should be.
Mm-hmm.
I think, at its price, I look at a wide range of prices on tech. So affordability is all relative. At the price of $450 to $500, this is still in a territory where it's a reasonable splurge. I think to me, it's like I've seen things that cost $1,000 and cost more than that. And $500 is still a lot of money. But I think that when you think about trips or other things people do or concerts, I think it's like, if this is the thing you've been setting your eye on and you think it's going to be a lot of fun, there's a lot of fun to be had with it. I think it's really cool. And I think you can go a lot worse than doing this. Like, I think it's a really solid product from the little time that I've spent with it. But I just want to kind of ease people's FOMO at the same time to say that there are some experiences I've seen in VR, like when the first Switch came out, some things where you go, my goodness, this is so cool. You're not going to get this anywhere else. And, that's not happening right now with this, but that's okay. It's giving you more of what you might like. And I think if you've really been playing a ton of Switch and that is your system, I think you're going to appreciate all the updates a lot, because you'll notice them.
Awesome. That's wonderful insight. Scott Stein, editor of CNET, thank you so much for talking with us ahead of this very anticipated launch.
Yeah, good luck out there. I hope people success in the lines and the sales. I know, and I heard about canceled pre-orders, so it's all wild.
More to come on the Remix. Sometimes the smallest things take up the most room in your heart. A new Winnie the Pooh exhibit opens up at Children's Museum in Boston. We'll give you a preview next. Well, Winnie the Pooh and friends are back in Boston at the Children's Museum this summer. From now through the end of September, you can stop by the 100-acre woods to sort honey and acorns with Pooh Bear and Piglet, read one of Owl's favorite books, or garden with Rabbit. Every 3 weeks, the museum will bring a new chapter from A.A. Milne's books to life.
We have a bunch of collection items from our own collection in the museum, as well as some history behind the bear that inspired Winnie the Pooh and a lot of the original work that A.A. Milne did with Christopher Robin that kind of tells the whole history of these books.
Well, you can also learn about the history of the real-life bear named Winnie in A.A. Milne's books. You can buy tickets ahead of time on the museum's website. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week for more lifestyle, community, and entertainment news.